From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Monday, August 5th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. A check-in on the campaign trail. Over the weekend, Vice President Kamala Harris secured enough votes from state delegates to officially become the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. And we're expected to find out who she will choose as her running mate by tomorrow. The VP reportedly spoke with some top VP contenders on Sunday, including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. She'll make her choice early on this week because following her pick, she will hit the road on a 7-state battleground tour. A new CBS poll has Harris ahead of Republican presidential nominee, former President Donald Trump, by 1 point nationally, and tied with Trump across battleground states. Meanwhile, over the weekend, Trump officially scrapped the ABC debate that was planned next week when President Joe Biden was still the Democratic nominee. Trump says he's still willing to debate Harris, but wants a venue change, posing a new date with Fox News moderating. Trump is also in litigation with ABC News, so he says there's a conflict of interest in using that network. Harris's campaign has said Trump is afraid to debate and shot down his proposal of a venue and date change. So as of now, there's no real clarity on if we will see the two share a stage ahead of the November election. Hurricane Debbie is taking aim at Florida's Big Bend, with the center of the storm expected to make landfall later this morning. Debbie, which is as of now a Category 1 storm, is packing a punch with strong winds and the potential for record rainfall, leading to catastrophic flooding and dangerous storm surge. Already, tens of thousands in Florida are without power. According to the National Hurricane Center, once it makes landfall, Debbie is expected to move slowly across northern Florida and southern Georgia. Adding, the storm is likely to strengthen before it makes landfall, but it'll weaken as it moves inland. Debbie is the fourth named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Many questions remain after it was announced last week the U.S. had reached a plea agreement with the alleged mastermind of the 9/11 terror attacks and his co-conspirators that would have had them avoid the death penalty. But then that deal was quickly rescinded. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin releasing a memo Friday night saying the decision should have been his to make and relieved the overseer in charge, bringing the case to a close of duty. Now, many Americans want to know how the original plea deal could have even been an option and what the president has to say about it. A White House National Security Council had previously said President Biden did not play a role in taking the death penalty off the table for the 3 alleged 9/11 masterminds. He also rejected a proposal last year that would also have spared them the death penalty. A major development in the Russia-Ukraine war, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has announced that new F-16 fighter jets have arrived in Ukraine, the first to be added to their fleet, which is significant since it's been years of Zelensky asking countries to supply this type of fighter jet to the country. He believes these jets will help Ukraine in its fight against Russia. Zelensky spoke about the jets during a Special Armed Forces Day event. The jets, decorated with Ukraine symbols, were on display, and 2 flew overhead as he spoke. Zelensky says they will help protect Ukraine's skies from Russian missiles and aircraft. However, they won't be near the front lines as there are too few of them and too much Russian defense systems that can shoot them down. Zelensky mentioned that Ukraine is working with neighboring countries and NATO to find other ways to better defend against Russian missiles. He hopes this will lead to a coalition of Western countries working together against Russia. With the delivery of such high-power vessels, some have warned it could escalate tensions between Russia and the West. Ukraine has suggested it may store these F-16 fighter jets in other countries to protect them from being targeted if held in Ukraine. However, Russian President Vladimir Putin has already said Moscow would consider launching strikes at facilities in NATO countries if they host the F-16 fighter jets used by Ukraine. There's a lot of major international events playing out this morning. Chaotic protests have formed in the UK in what's being called the worst disorder seen in the country in years. The protest sparked over a false rumor spread online, claiming that an asylum seeker was responsible for a stabbing attack at a dance studio that left 3 young girls killed. As a result, rioters have targeted hotels used to house asylum seekers who are largely of Muslim faith coming from Middle Eastern countries. They have also targeted libraries, attacked a mosque, and damaged a statue of Winston Churchill. Hundreds of people have been arrested. And then in Bangladesh, just to the east of India, there's been at least 100 people killed during violent anti-government protests. Protesters are calling for the prime minister to resign. This latest wave of violence from over the weekend follows a month of turmoil in July that saw another 200 people killed when students protested job quotas. In response, the country is on a severe lockdown, a curfew, closed courts, schools, and universities. The prime minister even cutting off mobile internet and access to social media apps like Facebook and WhatsApp to, quote, prevent further violence and control the situation. Now to a major merger that might be coming to the snack aisle. The Wall Street Journal reporting candy giant Mars, known for its chocolates like M&M's and Snickers, is in advanced talks to acquire the snack company Kellanova. Kellanova, spun off from Kellogg last year, is behind brands like Pop-Tarts, Pringles, Cheez-Its, and Eggo waffles. The deal would be one of the largest in packaged foods, and the Journal saying it could come together soon, as long as the talks did not fall apart. Finally this morning, an Olympic medal count update. Since Friday's morning rundown, Team USA has picked up 34 more medals for a total of 72, the most of any country. The U.S. adding 10 more gold medals over the weekend, including Simone Biles' 7th and Katie Ledecky's 9th. And on Sunday, the final night of swimming at the Paris Olympics, Team USA setting 2 world records. Bobby Fink winning the 1,500-meter freestyle with a record time of 14 minutes and 30.67 seconds. And in the women's 4x100-meter relay, Reagan Smith, Lily King, Gretchen Walsh, and Tori Husk winning with a record time of 3 minutes 49.63 seconds. Then moving to the track, a photo finish saw sprinting star Noah Lyles barely edging out Jamaica and his USA teammate to take home the gold in the men's 100-meter final. It was so close, the commentator announced the wrong winner at first. Entering the Summer Games, Lyles said his goal was to leave Paris with 4 gold medals. He's now on his way to achieve just that. And these are your top stories for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.